News.
And we start with that breaking news right now on the Amador and Calaveras County line. We're watching Live Copter 3 watching a CAL FIRE plane over the Electra fire, and this is some evacuations have already been ordered. Evacuation orders have been issued for the Butte Mountain Road area.
And warnings have been issued for about a 2-mile radius centered around Lake Tabot. We want to give you a better look at where this fire is burning. It is on Electra Road or around that area and near Highway 49. So let's go back to the live pictures from Live Copter 3, and we have really seen this one grow. Of course, it's a warm day, not hot, but the weather is always a factor in fires like this. From just the elevation of those clouds, you can tell this thing is burning hot. Let's check in with Mark and the latest on those conditions.
And, you know, what's interesting, Edie, and we can stay on these pictures here for a second here before I show you some maps, but the thing that's really shocking to me is that this started after 3:30 this afternoon. So the growth that you're seeing here is pretty impressive. It is burning in that area, dry grass. There's a lot of brush in here and sending that smoke plume up in the air about 15,000 feet. You can clearly see it from across the valley. So if you are seeing this big smoke plume, this is where it's burning. Let me quickly go to the maps to map it out for you to show you where we are. So here's Jackson, here's McCallum Hill, this is Highway 49, and the river here, the McCallum River, that separates Amador from Calaveras County. This is burning in steep terrain. That is a steep hillside, and it is mostly burning on the north side. There has been word that it is spreading a little bit on the south side, but most of the activity we're seeing here is on the north side, so in the Amador County side. Let me map that out a little bit more for you. So you go up this hillside and see this road in here, and this road, that's Clinton Road. This is Butte Mountain Road, and there are a lot of roads off of here. These are the areas that are being evacuated. The recreation area of Lake Tabot is right there. All the areas within a 2-mile radius of there are being warned to evacuate. So this is spreading up the hill, but there is also some spotting on the south side. The road that you barely see there, that's Highway 26 in Calaveras County. If you're on Highway 26, especially east of McCallum Hill, you also should be warned that this fire could come in your direction. Let's go back to the pictures from Live Copter 3, because what we're seeing here is you get a better idea of the vegetation and the steep hillside. So this is a mixture of the dry grass as well as the mixed vegetation. Not a lot of tall trees in this area, not a lot of timber, but it is a very steep hillside. Now, it started on a road that goes right along the river called Electra Road, and that's how it has the name of the Electra fire. The Electra Road goes from Highway 49 up to the Electra Powerhouse, which is down on the river itself. But as you can see, as these pictures from Live Copter, you can see the flames just going up the hillside. And as we were talking about last week, fire likes to go uphill. So that's why when it gets into one of these drainages, that's what they call the river area, one of these steep canyon areas that drains down into the river, it can race up the hillside. And down on that steep hillside, there aren't very many homes, but up at the top of the hill, that's where there are homes. You also see the power lines there. Those are the power lines. Those are PG&E power lines that go down to that powerhouse, the Electra Powerhouse. Last week, when we were covering the fire in Nevada County, we did see the power lines de-energized. That may be happening right now as well. Again, these power lines come from the powerhouse that is down on the river, so we may see some power interruptions in parts of Amador and Calaveras County as a result of this, very similar to what we saw last week.
And one thing that I want to point out is that these are the transmission lines, and you can see that those lines are on really tall metal towers that are designed to withstand a fire like this. But look how tall those flames are. Now, it's a funny vantage point because the towers are in the foreground and the fire is burning in the distance, but you can see the fire just whirling back there and has some good height. So that just gives you a sense of the heat in this fire. And you know, the other thing, Mark, is it is so hard to convey how fast a fire like this can travel if you haven't seen it for yourself, because you mentioned with the fire burning uphill, it is warming up and drawing out everything ahead of it, and it just races through these areas. So if you're in one of these areas with evacuation warnings or certainly orders, just know that things can get very chaotic very quickly in a situation like this.
And exactly, Edie, and especially when one of these fires breaks out, both CAL FIRE and let's say the Amador County Sheriff's Department that are working together, they're trying to assess how fast it's moving, and it can move even faster than their assessments.
Yes.
So they'll put up warnings, maybe at a time that maybe orders need to go. So that's why in a case like this, that I would suggest that if you're in a warning area, you ought to be thinking about getting out, especially for those of you in the Butte Mountain Road area, and if you're south of Butte Mountain Road. Those roads are relatively narrow. There are homes, beautiful homes that overlook the valley. It's stunning up there. It's a beautiful view. But as you can see in the example right there, the access to these can be very difficult. The roads are really only about 1.5 lanes wide. It's not like they're big, wide open roads, and you have to consider that what you're also going to have is fire equipment trying to get in. It won't just be CAL FIRE, it'll be local agencies doing mutual aid trying to get in, so there's going to be a lot of personnel trying to get in. So if you're trying to get out, with a horse trailer or something like that, it may be very difficult. A good example here. Here's a house perched up on top of the hill. What we have around it is some pretty good defensible space. As you can see, it's kind of clear cut around it, and then you have a CAL FIRE vehicle, or I'm not sure exactly if it's CAL FIRE or another agency, parked there for structure protection. But a home like that could be vulnerable because of how fast a fire can move uphill in a case like this.
And back to the power situation, just heard from our producer from PG&E, about 2,000 people in this area do have their power cut off. We were showing you those power lines so close to those flames, so it makes sense that that power would be out to, again, 2,000. And CAL FIRE is throwing everything they can at this. We've in our live pictures from Live Copter 3 been seeing CAL FIRE helicopters and planes flying by. I'm counting at least 9 CAL FIRE, both helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft in the sky dropping. We saw some water drops. We've seen retardant drops. So it's the typical playbook here, where they drop the water and then the fire retardant comes after that, and they go back and they load back up with more supplies to try and contain these flames and trying to build a perimeter around this fast-moving wildfire.
Yeah, the air attack is certainly a critical part of this, but some of those water drops, that water evaporates really quickly in these kind of conditions. Mark, you mentioned horse trailers, and those would certainly be people who should be loading up and getting out now. It takes a long time to load up horses, and some of these neighbors will share a trailer. Yep. So you may have one trailer for maybe 5 different animals across a couple miles. And so in those situations, you really hope that they're, taking this time right now that they have to get things organized and get those animals out. And
I'm somewhat familiar with this area. I've been hiking in this area a couple of times, and there are a lot of ranches in the area, people that do have horses. There are cattle that graze upon some of the hilltops as well. So it's a beautiful area, not all that far away from downtown Jackson. It's just up the road, but when you get up on some of these roads, especially like Clinton Road as well as Butte Mountain Road, they're twisty, turny roads with a lot of beautiful homes along them, but this is a scary situation. You can just see from this picture, you can just picture the hill going up, and then you see the fire going up the hill. And it's also a good picture of the mixed vegetation. You have these wide open areas of grass that you see right there. That'll burn in a hurry. The oak trees that are scattered amongst the fire will generally burn underneath those, but it's the other brush. There's things like manzanita and buckeye that are in there that will burn and dry out much faster. But the oak trees tend to survive something like this, and a lot of those oak trees, this is in the area similar to, we had a fire in the same area called the Electra fire back in, I think it was 2008, and then of course the Butte fire, which started in the same area and went across the river and burned more than 70,000 acres in Calaveras County. So many of these oak trees that you're seeing have survived a fire or two, but it's the brush that grows back year after year that is on fire tonight and racing up that hillside.
Mark, do you have a sense of how many people live in this area?
It's not a lot, but it's it's the sort of thing you see a home here, a home there. So it's not like there are subdivisions at the top of this hill, and not until you get closer to Highway 88 will you find more densely populated areas in Amador County. So, and this is well away from 88, but there are, I'd say dozens of homes are on the hilltop, but the farther north it would go, the more dangerous it would be. I mentioned the fact that there has been some spotting on the south side in Calaveras County, and right now, from what I understand, there are warnings for the areas, some areas off 26, on the river side of 26, if you will, on the north side of 26. And I'm sure folks in that area are keeping a close eye on this. This is also burning to the east of McCollum Hill. I'm sure that a lot of folks in the town of McCollum Hill are quite nervous about this, but this fire is burning away from your direction. This we thought it had started on Highway 49 near Electra Road. It has actually started a little bit farther to the east of there. So with the current wind direction we have, it appears as though McCollum Hill itself is pretty safe at this point.
They're dropping. I mean, you can see in the lower left part of the screen, it's now panning away from there, but some really good-looking retardant lines. And just as a reminder, that is what can slow down the fire and give crews a chance to get on top of it and get some control. And you're really seeing that, Mark. I mean, this is pretty dramatic in the areas where they've got the retardant lines dropped. The smoke just doesn't look as thick. It looks like it is slowing down the fire, just as it is intended to do. And you've got some ground crews down there as well.
Exactly. So, and what we're looking at here is on the west side of the fire, and so they're going to try to make sure that it doesn't go west of here. On the east side of the fire, they're probably doing the same thing, but trying to get the retardant down on the head of the fire, or in other words, in the direction it's burning. So it's burning. Yeah, it's burning in that direction right there. So as the camera is following it, that's the direction that it is currently burning, and it's burning up toward the top of the hill. It's a little bit more difficult to get under that smoke. I mean, in other words, to fly an aircraft through there is a little bit more dicey, but that they can drop retardant a little bit easier on the sides of it. I don't think we're seeing enough wind today to cause big time spotting, which is great news. The winds in the area are only around 5 to 8 miles an hour, so we're not going to see big embers keep spotting this thing, which is really good news. We saw that actually last week in the fire in Nevada County. We did see spotting of maybe 100 yards or so, which was making the retardant lines a little bit less effective. The winds today don't appear to be as gusty, and so that may really help to slow this thing. What they might be trying to do is to do structure protection here and then hold it at the top of the ridge line. There was a pretty good actually, when I was up in this area just a little more than a month ago, up at the Lake Tabot area, we were seeing it looked like there had already been a bunch of clearing in that area. So they may already be trying to hold it in that general area so it doesn't get farther to the north and to the east into bigger areas of vegetation and bigger areas of where homes are.
This just in, Mark, the Italian picnic grounds located at 581 Highway 49 in Sutter Creek will be a location for human sheltering when we're back to the evacuation orders that have been issued. And last check from PG&E, 2,600 people without power. And right now we're looking from Live Copter 3. We see one of the dozers down below, close to one of those fire lines, trying to build up those containment lines around this specific area. And Mark, you said you've been out there last month. When it comes to roads in and out of here, you were talking about windy roads. Getting in and out, is that pretty challenging?
Very challenging. It's, on a normal day, there isn't any traffic here, but if all of a sudden you have a lot of residents trying to leave, that is going to be a challenge. So you have vehicles trying to leave, you have fire trucks and other vehicles trying to get in, and a lot of these roads they're fine if you're just by yourself, but when another car comes the other way, sometimes they get a little bit narrow. It gets a little bit better the closer you get to Highway 88, but up there it's there are some pretty narrow roads. I think that's McCollum Hill right there, the town of McCollum Hill. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. That's McCollum Hill.
Okay, and as crews are working to protect communities like that from this fire, we're going to take a quick break.